Me and a mate have slipped up the bush just for an overnighter, based at the vehicle hunt. He's hunted here before, but not since the fire. I've never been here, so I'm going in blind pretty much, but just giving a few tips on where to go. We've seen one hind and put up another one already. A lot of sign along the creek. There's a bit of sign up off the creek, but it's sort of dried out since I've got up high. But there's a ton of feed in here, so the deer aren't going to have to move far to get feed, and the water's just there, so really need to be on top of them to find them here. So my plan is to go back a bit higher and glass the face where all the sign was coming out of the gully back that way, coming down into the creek. There was a fair bit of sign. There must be at least half a dozen animals in there, I'd say. Yeah, because I don't think I'm going to find them up real high. It's a pretty quiet little spot. I just hear one rolling rocks up here. I'll be buggered. Yep. Oh, bugger. I think the air's going a little bit that way. Well, I just climbed up 100 yards. I've got the running marks. Bloody wind. Anyway, there are deer up on this side, which I was kind of doubting, but it's the sunny side. It has been overcast today and yesterday, so anyway. That's the one we really want, really. Fun. I reckon she was the one that I put up above me that winded me. I just snuck into the next gully following the marks, stayed a little bit higher than the marks, and cut into this gully. And after finding that deer bed and that, I could hear it moving, and So I give it a quick call, and it turned and came straight back in and started honking. So it gave me a chance to get the big camera out, muck around. So anyway, it was a bit of fun. Yeah, let's see what we find. We're going to head back now and glass back over what we've walked through. Hopefully spot something out a bit higher above the creek. Plenty of sign there, so I have to be. Righto, so it's the next morning, and I've pushed through that gully where I had that hind and young one last night. Thought maybe I'm just sort of getting into the edge of the deer, but nah. I think what's typical of this fire regen is lots of individual deer because there's so much feed. And at the moment there's nothing to keep the deer together. It's no rut or whatever. So I think the hinds have sort of got their young ones on their own. So I'm just finding lots of single or couple of deer moving through at different levels here and there, but no rhyme nor reason as to where they're headed. So I'm just going to cruise through this gully and get on this little ridge and run down to the creek. Well, it's a gully, this one's not a creek. Walk back out to the creek, call it a day, I think. Well, you should just never give up, should you? So I was like, nah, just walk down that ridge, down to the creek, the gully, and walk out to the creek and back out. I started doing it, and there was a sign in this dry gully, just like there was on the creek yesterday afternoon. I thought, it's not that far, I'm nearly at the head of this gully. I thought, what's the harm in walking up the gravel bar, up the creek, up the gully, and just see what's around the corner. Anyway, it sort of started to peter out. I think what happened is I walked past them. So I was probably 150 past where I ended up shooting that hind, and she barked at me. And anyway, I thought, yep, we wanted meat, so got set up and flopped her, and lo and behold, she had a young one with her, perfect eater size. Anyway, the little bugger, I had to move to sort of get in position to shoot him, and he bounced and took off. I've got another one over here honking at me. So obviously I sort of come across where they decided to pull up for the day. And I thought I heard another one take off up here, but I raced up here to make sure it wasn't a big stag, but it's hard to see. The sun's starting to come into my face. And I've played with her with the caller. I nearly had her in, but I think my wind's sort of swinging that way a little bit. Anyway, go down and get this deer butchered up. I don't know whether Huck's gonna. He should have heard the shot, but I don't know whether he's gonna come over and give me a hand or not. I'll get the best bits out anyway. It's a fair way in, but that's pretty much where she tipped over. You can sort of see that's laying over. Thought she was just here. Bit of blood. Blood there. I've made it up to where I shot that hind. I found where I tipped her over. I thought she was just there. I'm really hoping it's not that hind I've been playing with the call, and that's why she wasn't running off, is because she's hit hard but not dead. So anyway, got a bit of a tracking job. So yeah, no joy finding that hind. Don't know what happened. Well, pretty sure she's dead there somewhere, but a ton of places for her to, if she got her feet and managed to take a few steps and then slide into something. Is there anything I can think of that why I couldn't find her? I had that where she'd rolled, had the blood there, and then from there I could not get a direction. There was no running marks, no blood, no rolling down the hill marks, nothing. So I just went, oh, that's the last spot, I've got to go out in radiuses from there. Well, I couldn't find another drop of blood. I couldn't find a running mark, nothing. So I just gridded that whole area and didn't come up with anything. So I spent about an hour and a half looking in that area. Watched the video again. Looked like she'd pretty much rolled almost to the creek. Couldn't find her. Some real likely spots where I thought she was hiding, but no. And anyway, I give up in the end, and I came back down the gully there, maybe 150 metres, and I put up a big hind and a yearling, and I thought, oh, is that her? Anyway, I could have shot it, but not knowing, I didn't want to bloody blast another one. So I thought, oh, she'll be crook if that was her. So she wandered off, and I went up and found a bed and no blood in it. So I guess it was just another deer. So can happen. You might have hit further back. I was trying to hit front on, but anyway, live and learn.